Hello, hello!
Welcome. Ay, nandiyan pa.
Welcome to the
Sorry.
internet.
I
Hello.
have to say something
Hello,
very
hello.
theatrical. Like, ay, nandiyan na pala
Tristan,
kayo.
go. Oh,
Like, mga
Yeah.
rehearsing
oh,
lines,
no. You've been rehearsing that. I saw you like mumbling earlier before live. Anyway,
nagagano.
welcome everyone wherever you're watching from. We have an exciting interview coming up with these three wonderful individuals. Before we get into it, though, could any of you tell us how people can follow Ikarus Theater Collaborative and when is this latest production of yours showing?
Great. You can check us out at icarustheater.com. That's our website. We are also on Facebook, Icarus Theater Collaborative. And on Instagram, we are at Icarus Theater. Our next production, which is Pound of Flesh, Mga Anak ng Lupa, is coming out on October 28th.
Woo!
Anak ng lupa.
We
Is
got
it supernatural? Or
Oh, well, I guess you'll have
Find
to
out.
Halloween
find
ba?
out.
Di ba?
Oh, okay.
Pony up.
Yeah, I feel like there's like so many layers to this, so excited to dig into this. So, shall we, Tristan? Get right into it?
Game, sige.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. This is Hustle Inside the Industry, where we talk to professionals and find out how they got here, why they're doing what they do, and what it takes to do it. We are live now here on all Rappler channels, including Kumu. If you're streaming us on Kumu, you can join in on the conversation. You can send over questions and some diamonds if you like what you hear. We always appreciate that.
Again, we are prioritizing questions in Kumu. So if you're not yet on the platform, you can download the app. That's Kumu, Kumu. And when you do, follow Rappler. So that's rappler.com. So we spell out the dot. So it's DOTCOM.
And if you like this interview and you want to play it back in podcast form, just follow Hustle Inside the Industry on Spotify or any podcast platform. This episode comes out next Monday, October 11th. As always, this is Powie.
And this is Tristan. We are part of Rappler's Hustle team.
Okay, so I think we can all agree that it's been way too long since any of us have seen a live show. And for Tristan and myself on Inside the Industry, it's actually been a while since we last covered Philippine theater, right?
Yeah, yung parang, I think the nearest theater episode that we had was like in episode 57. Yeah,
Wow.
with Rafa Sigurnina and Yana Laruel, which was actually our debut, di ba? Tama ba? It was
Yeah,
our
it was our
debut
Kumu
on
debut
Kumu,
before
yeah.
we went video. Before you
Oh,
used
wow.
to hear us,
Yeah.
now you can see our handsome faces. Perfect. But anyway,
Yeah.
in the
Yung mga
same way
viewers.
that in the same way that we've all seemed to pivot here, especially digitally, it seems the entire performing arts industry has gone digital, just like all others. So to paint a perfect example here, we have Ikarus Theater Collaborative about this new hybrid storytelling format and explain the process behind adapting Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice into their upcoming show, Pound of Flesh, Mga Anak ng Lupa. So, without further ado, let's welcome the team behind Pound of Flesh. We have Justin Iran, Ariel Magna, and Kit Singson. Welcome!
Hi,
Welcome
thank
to the
you.
show.
Hey,
everybody.
happy to
Hi.
be here.
So, to give our audience a chance to know you more, can you tell us more about Ikarus Theater and your latest production, Pound of Flesh? Is it supernatural? Kasi mga anak ng lupa. It's your time to
We're getting the
change
October
our
vibes,
perception.
like the October
Ooh.
28th release. You
Spoopy.
better explain that.
Okay, well, to give you a little background on the company, so it's Ikarus Theater Collaborative. We are actually 8 years old, and we operate outside of our small theater in Marikina. And we've staged several adaptations, original plays, and even musicals with original scoring. And I guess right now we are expanding, and we are expanding our wings outside of the stage because we have gone digital fully, I think. And there, so we have our new website, and again, Pound of Flesh is coming up. It's one of the first big projects that we've prepared for everyone since the pandemic began.
So, continuing, hitting right off from what Kit just said, Pound of Flesh is going to be a hybrid of film and theater. It is based off Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice. So, we kind of turned it into something of our own to be able to, so that the piece resonates to this day and age and to be able to touch people. Icarus has always been about telling the truth. We speak the truth, capital T for truth. So that's what we've what was our goal for with Pound of Flesh. So am I forgetting anything else?
Well, I think we can dig it. I think we can dig more into it anyway, Ariel. But I think that's a great start into this interview to get to know you more. As we always do on the show, we love to get to know more of you individually, the three of you, and how you kind of like assembled, right, Tristan? We always have the superhero references here.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Since we're comic book geeks, we lagi kami may reference what's your secret origins.
indeed.
Adventures
secret
somewhere.
origins.
Right, so
Wow.
so this is that question. What's your origin story? Each of you, whoever wants to go first, especially
Sure.
we'd love to hear
Things like
about
that.
your specifically your professional backgrounds leading into the performing arts, and now Ikarus Theater Collaborative.
Right. I'll go first. If we're the angels, there's definitely a Charlie behind the speakerphone, the guy who is pretty low key, but he's the one that brought us together. PJ Crisostomo was originally Ikarus Theater Collaborative. We joined. We basically like glommed together. I guess we stuck to each
Assembled.
other. I was hanging out a lot at the theater/cafe as a spoken word artist. Got me as an actor because he said that I was the first actor he saw that he had to tell to lower his voice, like because my voice was too loud. So yeah.
Example.
I don't want to like hurt people over the. Yeah. So yeah, I am an educator by profession. I'm a teacher. I was a teacher. Now I'm handling content management for an educational system. So that's kind of also how I got into Shakespeare, which is relevant to the production we're talking about today.
And by the way, Justin, if you could also tell our audience what your specific role is within
you're right.
the Icarus Theater Company.
So within the company, I do a little bit of everything. I direct, I write, I act mostly. But I'm also like the HR guy of the company. I'm the most, I guess, the most corporate of all of us. So I'm the company manager. So,
Interesting.
Yep.
He already like outed the others. He's the most corporate. So now I want to hear more from how about Kit?
Okay, so
Liz, please deliver in a soliloquy. So
no.
I'm
Okay.
kidding.
Siguro, okay, I can start with how I met, I guess, our artistic director, the founder of Icarus, and also Justin. So it was probably almost a decade ago, maybe 8 years, yeah, actually, during the year Icarus was founded. I met the artistic director of the company, and then after that we got into like several work partnerships for my work. I was in publishing before, so I used to feature their new Ikarus Theater Collaborative then, and then after working in the office in publishing, I put up a coffee shop in Katipunan, and then since Justin was which one? We closed na kasi.
Okay. I was giving you an option to plug.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But can I mention it?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so it was called 55 Square Cafe. So it's now a micro bakery, if I'm not mistaken, and what do you call that? Like a speakeasy bar. So anyway, so going back, I met Justin in in the cafe, and then I think Justin, because he was a teacher across the street back then, and then he asked if we could do a spoken word night at the cafe. So we met there, and then apparently we're friends with the same artistic director, which is
Right.
DJ Crisostomo. And then afterwards, when we closed the cafe, Justin invited me to be the marketing hindi head pero like the marketing person for one of the productions of Ikarus. And then from there, it just started snowballing. And then right now for Ikarus, I am the marketing director. And I also do write, direct, and sometimes I act as well. So
One
yeah, so
slasher.
there. And then as a professional, I'm actually since I mentioned I was in publishing, I'm actually a freelance creative and art director for editorial and commercial projects. And I also do a bit of graphic design, copywriting, photography, and video editing.
Oh my
and all
gosh,
that
wow.
shit.
That's
She
everything.
does everything. She does
It's
just
basically
like
Yeah.
everything.
yeah.
So
Pwede mo na
basically,
kami palitan ni Pawi.
hindi naman, hindi naman. But basically for Pound of Flesh, I did I'm the production manager of Pound of Flesh, and then I also did production design and costume design. And I am also the editor.
Editor.
So what you're gonna see is edited by me.
That's by the
There
way,
you go.
and that's not really a spoiler, but I think that's indicative of the subject today, right? Because you never hear the term editor when you
Oh,
think
yeah.
of a theater show. So
Yeah.
Yes,
we'll get
yes.
more into that soon, I'm sure. But Ariel, I guess first.
Oh, okay. Sige, I'll start with a really quick origin story. So, as a kid, I was very eloquent in English. Apparently, that's not common among kids. I got bullied for it, but then my teacher saw a potential in me and entered me into a declamation contest. And the minute that I got on that stage, it was electric. Something really clicked in me, and I said that this was really something that I wanted to do, like the rush, like the stage fright, and then all of a sudden it was quiet and everybody was just listening to you. The thrill just really gets me all the time, and so that's really what I wanted to do ever since. I mean, I do write on the side as a kid, but it was performing that really, I don't know, made my heart beat the way that it does. Anyway, so I got into college. It's it's the course that I got into, and I graduated from it from Miriam College. Most of my professors are from DUP, so the Lang UP. So I'm very, very blessed, so proud to be their student. And fast forward to now, pre-pandemic, I've worked with Repertory Philippines. I've done a couple of great shows like Mula sa Buwan, and so on. And then my friend Ina Salonga introduced me to Ikarus. I watched one of their pocket shows, Compass, which is written by Kit actually. And so during the pandemic, I was really like down in the dumps, like, oh, creative spirit is dead, you know what I mean? And so Ina reached out to me and said that I should try out for Ikarus. And so I did. And that's how I met these guys. And like, I felt so intimidated to be in the same room as them. I was like, why are they so serious? My God. Like, but yeah. And now I am the theater manager. I actually am the head dramaturg of Pound of Flesh. So that means I was the one at least who had like a whole team behind me, of course, who was in charge of adapting the text to how it is today. So there, I feel like I said a lot of things.
You forgot you're also
Perfect.
an actor.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yeah.
All right. I'm an
She's also
actor.
Justin.
Full
Yeah.
She's an actor. So.
Yeah.
She
Also,
no,
she
no,
did
she did
see
great.
my play.
She defeated the cliche, right? The cliche actor.
I know, but yeah, it's so funny because that's mainly what I am, and that's the one that I forgot. So Ariel. Anyway, yeah. So I'm an actor, I'm a theater manager, and the head dramaturg. Cool.
So you talked about your origins, like how you evolved basically into like finding theater as like your passion. So I wanna go into like the early days of Icarus itself. So you said you've been tama ba 8 years, no? Kasi like the first time I heard it, it's like 80. So 8 years.
8 years.
So
Yeah, I
it's
was
8
like,
years,
hold
right?
up. But
Yeah.
it could be
Vampires,
yeah.
like okay. So 8 years. So like I wanna ask you guys, like how was it like during its early days, and then like individually, rin, like how did you realize that this is something that's not just a hobby but also like something that you can do as a career? So
Right.
yeah, take us
Yeah.
back.
Uh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I,
Justin.
I guess I joined Icarus. I wasn't there when in it during its birth. As we said, in the early days, Icarus was BJ and was him. Like, and there was a group of people drifting in and out of the company, collaborators, but there was no formal roster. There was no, as far as I know, there was no like set of actors. There was no troupe at the time. Um, it was around 2019 that we started talking about, we gotta like formalize things, we gotta involve more people. And initially it was myself and Kit working with BJ to bring that to life, to make it happen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How about for let's go with Kit next. I
Mhm.
mean, again, we have slasher in Tristan's word, multi hyphenate,
Slasher.
whatever you
Full
had,
brain,
many,
full brain,
many
full brain
different
Yeah,
approach.
literally.
paths you could have gone.
Slash, slash.
But I guess, yeah, to follow up on what Tristan was asking, at which point did you feel like you could cement this as part of, like, call it a profession, your
Mhm.
participation in theater production?
Probably. Well, I can't say that right now it's my primary profession, but it is part of what I do. I do put a lot of energy and time with the company into our projects. So probably the point in my life when I realized that I want to do this as like that thing right now, and hopefully like a career talaga in this. I guess it was maybe when I joined Ikarus formally not formally, informally in 2018. Because I missed the times in high school and grade school when I was part of the theater productions in school. So parang after that, I really wanted to pursue it as like one of my, I guess, not hobby, but like more than a hobby, an expensive hobby.
Oh yeah,
So,
right.
there. So
Hobby.
I'm still at that point. And yun yeah, we're all trying to grow the company as well. And we are, I guess, 20 people strong right now. 20
Woo.
actors and
Yeah,
writers,
very
Nice.
strong.
directors.
Right.
So very happy about that.
Yeah, just want to like riff off of that like expensive hobby thing.
Yeah.
It's don't get us wrong, it's fun. We love doing it. It's fulfilling, and we do take it
Oh yeah.
seriously.
Oh yeah.
But it's uh yeah, some people climb mountains, we make plays. So
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Tristan,
Right?
soundbite right there.
Right?
Soundbite right there. Oh well, actually, I did want to give this uh, slot also for Ariel to answer, because I'm sure a lot
Oh.
of people wonder that
yeah.
for the performers themselves. Like, what is that moment that uh, uh, you did tell us you about your passion, but in
Yeah.
terms of translating that passion
Okay.
into more profession, yeah,
Mhm.
when did that happen?
Right. I think it was back in college, being able to work with. Sorry, it's outside of Icarus because I've only gotten into Icarus last year, so that's pretty interesting. But yeah, I think it all clicked for me when I was in college. Seeing my professors do what they do, professionally, and be able to teach and be able to act and be able to mount productions. It really was what I wanted to do as well. So as soon as I got off college, I auditioned for Repertory Philippines. So I got into their production, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and guess what I was? I was a dwarf because I'm a dwarf.
Yay!
Yeah, but yeah,
Which
so
one? Totally
oh,
Si
the
Mac
equivalent
Green,
of
ganun, Mac
ano,
Green, Mac
the
Steamy.
equivalent of Gopi. So I was the dumb one, and I had so much fun
No,
doing
because I
that.
was, because you had the green shirt. I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
"Goofy." Yeah.
but yeah. So the name was Flubber, and from then on, I kept going back into Repertory Philippines. I think I would say that pre-pandemic, that has always been my theater home. On stage, and Greenbelt is my stage home or something. But there, so that's when I started really building it as a career. Ever since then, I've been freelancing, full time freelancing in theater, or as a performer. There, so there.
Awesome. We're gonna take it now to more present. So origins complete. But before we do that,
Phase 3 ng ano.
phase three na. Okay. No, the Avengers still need to respond. Okay. Anyway, gosh. Oh, focus.
Fun.
Okay. Before we do, shout outs are in order. BJ is watching us from above on YouTube. So shout out to BJ. We also have Lord Osnerolus. That's his username, and he's just sharing his "Let's Go Icarus," he says on YouTube. We also want to shout out a friend on Kumu, Sedi Bear. He was actually a former guest on Kumu. He sent us a red horse. So thank you. I will digitally
Thank you.
drink that.
We have a
A real
shout
one.
out
Who else?
from Dino Guan. He said, "Hi, Ariel."
Got a flag.
I
Yo,
know.
send
Shitty Bang Bang though. So I don't know if that's a show that he
Oh,
did. or-
Chitty, right.
yeah. Okay, but
Hello.
But also to remind everyone who's watching wherever you are, again, that's YouTube, Facebook, Kumu, LinkedIn, whatever. You can send over your love. I hope it's love, especially in the form of Kumu diamonds. But more importantly, send any questions you have for our exciting guests here. Continuing on our regular programming, however, we have to talk about the present global crisis, right? And I know you definitely have a story to tell. How did Ikarus Theater Collaborative respond to the dire needs of the theater industry for both the professionals and also the theater fans? So basically, all stakeholders. Who wants to answer that one first?
Kit, you want to take this?
Okay. So since last year, since we halted all operations and all productions in the theater, actually we started writing and trying to do readings among just the three of us, BJ, Justin, and I. And then all the experiments that we did with the readings and all that, we translated it back to these podcasts that we did with our members. So we did 3 first batch podcasts, and then afterwards the members themselves had to write and direct and to record all those so that
Required.
us ourselves
Yeah.
us ourselves can be
Masters.
pressure. Actually, it was required
A
actually.
lot of,
Especially for the new members, they had to do that as their their trial by fire.
Initiation.
So, so
Yeah.
Trial by combat.
It's not a hazing, by the way. We don't do that.
I was gonna say.
But there, I think we started doing that because us ourselves, we wanted to do something creative and we didn't have an outlet for that. And then, of course, for our audiences as well, so that they have something that they can listen to, that they can be entertained despite and because of what's happening, especially last year during the early onset of the pandemic. And then afterwards, we started exploring other media and then other formats. And then we also did launch our website at the time. So like around July last year. And then we just added more content as we go along.
Yeah. It really was this whole idea of we got to make something. We're artists. We can't let the company members stagnate. So we did come out with a podcast theater, as Kit mentioned, which is on Spotify. Check us out. Yeah, we're really excited with what we've learned, how we're growing. We've grown not just in terms of skill, but in terms of the size of the company. We actually got to recruit people
Like
during the
Ariel.
pandemic. Like
Yeah.
Ariel, yeah.
Really cool how that works out, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that's how we've adjusted to the situation, trying to make the best out of it. And you can't stop artists from making art. It's
Right.
on our DNA.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so I just wanna ask this kasi I know it's like an unprecedented time. Like in the past, I don't think theater companies had to like deal with this problem. Like, paano tayo gagawa ng dula kung wala yung mismong space na teatro? So I think
Yes.
many of you like had to scramble and like think of really exert your creativity in coming up with new things. Example, what you mentioned, podcast theater. So I want to ask, like, what's the insight in like coming up with these executions, like podcast theater? Your is it? I'm not an artist, so I don't know the term transmedia ba yun? I mean, like it's a mix of film and
Yeah,
like
we're
theater.
marketing people, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So where did this insights
What
come
were
from, and
your
like
data-driven insights on this?
how do you see this parang in comparison to like what others are doing right now, other theatrical productions doing right now amidst the pandemic?
Hold on. Justin,
Sorry.
you want to take this?
Yeah.
Pop
So
quiz ba? Sorry. So you can just take it chill naman.
okay, well, I think what's common is that a lot of artists are finding ways to really make art. A lot of performance artists are finding ways to really make art. Leveraging technology definitely is there, but there's always really something lacking, and it's not just the physical space, particularly for theater. What a lot of theater
Energy.
practitioners really miss is the audience,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
Live audience.
Yeah.
we do it for the gods, and the gods are the audience
The
members. So
audience.
that's so it's that dynamic and that danger that you have when you're on stage, that you're facing, because if you do something wrong on film, like, okay, you just retake it. If you do something wrong on stage, you gotta roll with it, and you gotta like be quick on your feet about this sort of thing.
Mhm.
So missing that danger, missing the audience participation, that energy, that exchange, is really, I think, the biggest hurdle that theater practitioners face right now.
I can
And
imagine.
Ariel
Sabi
might
nga ni Ariel,
be, uh,
yeah, di ba said
Ariel
Ariel kanina, it was
professional.
electric. Like being on stage, it's like an electric feeling.
Oh yeah, definitely. Actually don't have much to add, but like I think the reason why artists are driven to do something about it, or to at least figure out a way on how to curb the problems that are arising against the industry, is because we just want the space to create. Like we really were pushed up against the wall. Like there's no choice for us but to just find a way to keep creating, because otherwise our creative spirit dies. And that's just like the saddest death, I think, for me, at least. Not physical death, but like creativity death. You know what I mean? I don't know what I mean, but anyway.
No, I hear you.
Like,
Living
right.
life, right?
Exactly.
Right. Like I mean, there's obviously, and which is extremely valuable now. There is the literal biological living,
Yes.
and then there's living being full of life,
Yeah.
which I'm sure a lot of people are struggling with right now. Actually, on both of those, I wonder if Kit also has anything to add, maybe on the question of how you've seen the local scene at large adapting, maybe other cool
Yeah.
things that
Since you're the marketing director.
yeah,
Yeah.
that other people have
Well,
been up to. Yeah,
Okay,
what are
well,
the trends?
actually, during the start of the pandemic, it wasn't just Ikarus who did podcast plays. So I think there were two other companies, small companies that did do that, and then afterwards, theater companies started what's this? They uploaded their old shows, like documentations of the old shows, and then made them available to everyone else, so that people have something to do, especially during the height of the ECQ last year.
Yeah.
So there, and then afterwards, the experiments came along. So people started shooting in monologues, and then maybe afterwards two people, or
Makes
and then
sense.
we also did this for Being Sophia. It's the desktop theater or desktop series format. So I also saw some production companies even, and theater companies who did that as well. And then I guess from there, since we've gone more courageous, now we're delving into like a hybrid. That's why we're going into that already. We're doing a hybrid of theater and film. So it's just very fortunate that a lot of the people in Icarus have backgrounds in production, so that it's possible for us to actually do this pound of flesh, mga anak ng lupa. So those are the things that I really saw in the industry and everywhere else. So on social media, on everywhere. It's everywhere. So
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. And one of the theater companies, a friend of ours, one of the bravest people companies in the space, Langgam
Jenny Balat,
Performance Troupe. Yeah, si Jenny. The
yeah.
Langgam Performance Troupe, they did a lot of fantastic shows.
We
Uh,
did Zoom plays
they
and
did Zoom
Zoom
plays.
workshops.
Crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
so
good.
fantastic work. Very enjoyable, very edifying. So, yeah, Langgam
Yeah.
Performance Troupe. Check them out as well.
Wow. Okay. Maybe future guest right there.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, you
Catch
did.
him next
You,
week, yo.
yeah, yeah. You did. We reached like the chorus, I guess, of this song because you did reiterate the main topic here, which is your play. But before we get into that, shout outs to Sandra, Quintela, and Natalia. Go.
Sandra!
Hi
Yeah.
guys. Those are
Hey.
company members
Hey.
also.
Oh,
Excellent. Hello.
they said, ano yun? What did they say? Ayun,
Let's go
Icarus.
Icarus fam and
Let's
let's
go
go
Icarus
Icarus.
fam, yeah.
Those are
Yahoo!
Get
two
it.
Yung may
variations
nababasa ko pa,
of the same.
I had to
Oh
look.
yeah. And also Ginger says hi in case we didn't shout out Ginger.
Hello.
But
Hi,
anyway,
Ginger.
yeah. And reminding everyone that you can send over questions. Please send over your questions, especially regarding the show, which is coming out on October 28th, right, Justin?
Yep.
Pound
That's
of
correct.
Flesh, Anak ng Lupa. But anyway, on that note, who can tell us about the process that went into producing this show? I want to get to know more about it. There's so many
We
layers
already
to this.
know. We already
You're
know.
adapting Shakespeare, but you're also localizing and transposing
Yes.
it
Right.
geographically, culturally, and now into the digital realm,
Yeah.
right?
A
So
lot of
let's
things,
talk
yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Who wants to get into it?
I think
Okay,
Ariel
so-
should start.
obviously. Okay. I guess it all started with. I'll just get right into it now. It started with me, BJ, and Justin really getting into Shakespeare again, and then realizing how important Shakespeare's work is for your training as an actor. And so we delved into it, and then we saw Merchant of Venice and how not well how do you say this, discussed it is as much as Romeo and Juliet. Obviously everybody knows Romeo and Juliet, but like with Merchant of Venice, wherein the themes of the play is very real to this day and age, which is mainly racism, because the bida Shylock is a Jew. And so again, being Icarus, being wanting to be able to tell the truth or to speak of the truth or to tell stories about the truth, that's what we wanted to bring forward. So the process in creating Pound of Flesh really was studying the piece at first. So we created the group, we created the team of dramaturgs. We came together and we tried to deconstruct the piece and create something out of it that is much more that fits our narrative more. So since there are a lot of elements sewn into the storyline of Merchant of Venice, we really focused again on the theme that we feel is relevant the most to this day and age, which is again racism and questionable governance. Yes, friends. And so to showcase that, we focused really on the court scene. If you don't know the story, there is a court scene there. But yeah, so that's pretty much the process. Now, what we wanted to show, so in the original, again, Shylock is discriminated for being a Jew, right? We, on the other hand, made the bold decision to portray him as an indigenous, because a lot of people remain blind to the discrimination against our indigenous communities, right? We fail to give them the respect, and it's the hard truth. It's the hard pill to swallow. That we still, it's sad. We do it, and some people remain blind to that. They don't know what's happening. We idly sit by as their homes are taken from them, which is why we wanted to combat it. We wanted to give voice to the indigenous communities, and at the same way, be able to honor them in our small way. And with that being said, we also wanted to prove that Shakespeare's language is relevant no matter the portrayal. That's why we localized it. We wanted to turn it into Filipino. With BJ's help, we translated some of the lines by Shakespeare straight into Filipino, and made it as poetic pa rin, to be able to maintain the metro. Because when you read Shakespeare, there is a meter to it, there's a rhythm to it. So I feel like I'm going off topic. What was the question again? I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
No, well, actually, this is not. I think this is great. Well, actually, side question there, more of a glossary
Okay.
type thing, because I've always wondered what exactly is a dramaturg.
Oh,
Uh,
right. Thank you for
Right.
that question. Oh my god.
and
Why
it's
did
weird.
I?
I'm in similar. I'm from the film industry, but
Right.
even I don't. What is dramaturg?
Right. Okay. For example, you have a book that you want to adapt. So the book is the writer, but you are the script writer. I think that's what it is.
Got
right?
it. So it's kind of like a
Ooh.
screenwriter for a
Yes.
film. There's a
Mm,
story
yeah.
credit,
Yeah.
there's a
Yes.
screenwriter credit.
But yes,
Theater
but as the
writer,
dramaturg, yes. But as the
Theater
dramaturg, you're the one who makes sure that all the concepts are cohesive, that the story is linear. You know, like
Yeah.
every element that goes into the narrative is clear and aligned to the overall vision of the show. So there. So that's what Pound of Flesh is. I'm very, very excited for you guys to see it. It's amazing.
Yeah. So from that part, so that's like
the
again,
writing
the
part.
the writing.
The writing
So
part.
who
Yeah,
wants
the
to take it to the
writing
next
part.
step here?
Okay. So sige, can I handle this, Justin?
Go for it.
Okay. So after, well, I want to take off from what Ariel said, that we wanted to focus on indigenous Filipinos, because we really want to show how Manileños like us, like Manila, we're a Manila-centric society. So during our childhood and while growing up, I'm sure we have been othering and exoticizing our brothers and sisters who are of cultural tribes. So we really wanted to actually delve into our own psyches and our own mentalities growing up, and even currently, like even us ourselves. We wanted to change that and to show other people that this is actually ingrained in the Filipinos, especially in Manila. So we wanted to change that, and for us to be aided, or to we asked help from different people, including what's this? Including we did hold workshops with speakers. So we did a workshop with um,
The creator.
Ida Del
Ida.
Mundo, the creator, the writer and director of Kana, the
Ida Del
Dreamweaver.
Mundo.
So
Yes.
yeah, so you know her.
Daughter
there-
of Doy or
Ye- yes,
yes,
A
descendant of famed screenwriter.
grandfather ata, yeah.
Yes,
So
famed.
so there. So we tapped her, and then we also tapped someone from, correct me if I'm wrong, Justin, someone who is an official for the Ifagaos. Is that correct?
A member of the Ifugao ethnic group, and also an artist. We consulted with them as well.
Nice.
And then we
Right.
also did some consultations with, what's that agency again?
The indigenous people. What's this?
NCIP.
There you go.
NCIP.
Yes.
There. So we did do those things to prepare us. I think it was during the process of writing. So they weren't done with the writing process. And then afterwards, once we knew that we weren't appropriating, or we knew that we weren't just trying to highlight the culture of our brothers and sisters, we started going into planning the whole production. So once the final, the text will never be final. It's always a living text. So they, BJ, the director of Pound of Flesh, did the rehearsals with the actors. So Justin and Ariel included. And then after, do you want to share about the rehearsals first, guys?
Sure. The rehearsal process was, I think it's that aspect of theater that will always be there. Because in theater, we say that for every minute on stage, that's an hour of rehearsals. So I think that's pretty close to what we actually did. Lots of dialogue work, lots of, especially getting the meter right, the rhythm right, because we want to be respectful for when it comes to the language as well. And we had consultants teaching us about the language of Shakespeare. Dr. Ricardo Abad from the Ateneo helped us learn about. Yeah. about Shakespeare.
It's
So
his own
it was,
language, right?
yeah,
Oh,
it was a lot
It's
of,
not
yeah.
English.
it was a lot of experimenting, a lot of language work, a lot of vocal work. Um, and then we did a very crazy paper blocking online, which
Which
was
was effective, I have
Pretty
to
it
say.
helpful.
was,
It
but it was
was
certainly
effective.
a new experience for a lot of
Oh yeah,
performers.
definitely.
Um, because when you're rehearsing and you're rehearsing on stage, the director will say, "Okay, go here," and
Yeah.
you build muscle memory. You know, like where you're
Right.
gonna go. But on paper, you're working on your own and you're just imagining other people there.
I can remember.
It's
Yeah.
Like I
literally like a
remember,
slideshow, right?
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
Google sheet, Google Slides document with
Yeah.
shapes and labels for all the actors to memorize.
Yeah.
So it's
It's
really
like it's like the chart that you use when you play basketball. Okay, the like this,
right.
go like this, to the left, to the right, and on. It's
so
like
Coach
that.
And
says.
because you can't
Yeah,
really during the reading itself, you can't really do a lot of the movement.
that's
You
true.
say what you're gonna do. So like I
Mm,
say this line and then I stand up and I exit stage left. And so it's
Yeah,
a
oh
lot
my
of
God,
that. It's
that's
a
what we
lot of
did.
that
Yeah.
conversation. It was
Wow.
really funny.
crazy.
Right.
But I think it paid off. We were
Oh yeah.
really prepared for the shoot itself. And that's the nice thing about working with theater people. It's just automatic. Nobody's nobody's acting like a diva. Nobody's like
Yeah.
we're all here for the work.
Nobody's
nice.
belly.
They come
Yeah.
prepared. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So
Tris-
there, I think. Oh, go ahead.
Tristan, I was actually reminded of because you played this for a Rappler article, and I have some background. But I was reminded of D&D, Dungeons and Dragons,
Right.
where you're like, I
Oh,
walk
right.
Yeah.
forward and grab this sword.
You know what?
Yeah.
I was gonna mention that it's very like role playing game. Like, okay,
Yeah,
what do you do
role-playing.
next?
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
So critical miss is do it again.
yeah,
Do it again.
yeah.
So there. I guess after that we did a 3-day shoot, and 4-day shoot.
For the
And
shoot,
then
yeah.
there we completed everything. So we're in actually post production right now. So
Woo!
post production.
Right. Oh yeah,
I will
shout out to
clarify
the
a
other
point,
people in the production. Yeah. Hello, friends.
Hey friends.
Hey
Hope
everybody.
you're watching. I'm sure they're watching.
Let's get it.
I want to clarify a point though, like with the rehearsals, with everything. So when you say it's a mix of theater and film, sorry, I didn't ask this earlier. I think it should have been
Sure.
asked earlier. So paano yun? Like the theater part, is it live too? Like since you're rehearsing and all, or is that also like something that you edit into the transmedia experience?
Uh, the theater aspect of it has a lot to do with the discipline of creating the art
Okay.
itself, not in the
Yeah.
not in the final product per se.
I see.
Although you can see elements of it.
Like the set.
Yes, set
The
design.
blocking as
Okay.
well is pretty.
Yeah.
It's mostly theater blocking.
They're blocking.
Yep. And then we
Yeah.
tried to shoot everything in one take, like per scene.
Mm,
It's
Okay.
really one
Right.
take.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then so we had different camera setups so that it's just one whole take and then cut and move on to the next scene. So it's
Yes.
theater in that way.
And we
Yeah,
were
okay.
shooting in the province, in the mountains.
Grabe,
and
province.
Wow, oh my God, it was so
grabe,
fun.
kasi there's this
On
long
location.
scene, and then tricycles would weir by, and like
Sorry.
there's a
Dog would
tuko.
bark.
The
Oh,
tuko
Oh,
was
there's a
like
tuko. Oh my God.
Oh my god, there was a
And it's like-
toko.
Mhm.
just
I had a
ruins the
couple this
sound.
year.
So we really had to stop.
But
it.
it was challenging to record. But I think we pushed through and
Yeah.
again really excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, again, October
So-
28th, and people will just be able to catch it whenever they want, right? That's how
Actually,
it is.
yes. Starting October 28th, it's actually a limited run. It runs from October 28th to November 4.
Yes.
We are not looking into a second run right now, but possibly in the future. So, do you wanna? Can I plug
If
how to
y'all-
get the tickets?
If y'all want
Go
to
ahead,
watch,
please.
just, check us out at icarustheater.com. The website does have the link to the tickets. And if you really want to watch after that first run, then let us know, and we'll make something happen.
Oh yeah.
And yeah,
If
and
there's
to
enough of a demand.
actually, yeah, To add to that, actually, that's one of the big transitions we have as a company from the stage to digital. So right now we're actually taking orders online. So that's the first time that we can sell tickets online. So yay!
Yeah.
Yay!
So anyone
Yeah.
from all over the world, if you have friends,
Yeah.
if you have friends who live abroad, they can also buy.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
mind the
so
2 a.m. notifications that
oh
something
yeah,
came
yeah.
in. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
bring it in.
Bring it
Actually,
on.
kanina lang. There was one kanina lang, like 10
Yeah.
minutes ago. There's a new
Oh,
Woo!
my phone's on airplane mode, so I'm not
Oh.
getting any notifications.
Sinabihan natin na no notifications pa.
Follow the rules.
You took it.
I'm sorry.
You took it way too seriously.
Very theater.
Yeah. Actually, I want to bring up another point rin lang. Kasi like, I like how you, since we were talking about how you adapted it earlier. So I think like, when you mentioned like what's at the core of Icarus, it's really the truth with the capital T. So
Yes.
I just want to like bring up how like you took really the long route basically and really adapting it, like looking for the themes, looking for the cultural context, and then after that, hindi lang, okay, sige, isalpak na natin to. It's really being also mindful of what that the responsibility to carry those
Yeah.
themes and convey it to an audience.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Definitely.
not exactly a bad thing naman, but like it's not like ano lang mga she's all that or 10 things I hate about you, which are also
Oh yeah.
Shakespeare adaptations, diba? So it's
Mhm.
all those are comedies naman. So what
Yeah.
gets so it's like it's in marketing terms, it's your USP. Like it's at the center of your
Yes,
being.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah,
actually.
we do.
Oh,
We
yeah.
really do take the work seriously, and we want to do it justice.
Yes.
Particularly because of how much we love Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
Uh, this again, Ariel mentioned this, but this came out of our Shakespeare nights, which was a
Yeah.
We
weekly
held every
thing where
Friday. Every
a
Friday
bunch of
at night.
nerds would go online and just read Shakespeare
Read it.
for no
Yeah.
reason than
So until
because
now,
we love the
okay. So
language.
this is also a plug, right?
Oh
So
yeah. You
is
can
this
join
ongoing?
us if you'd like.
Yeah, like message us if you.
Okay,
Message
okay. I thought it was
Justin.
like a public. I didn't realize that
Justin.
I was gonna be in
This
a
is it.
Zoom
This is
call
it.
with
This is it.
Kama. No, it's okay.
So message Justin tama ba? So if you want to
Yeah.
join Shakespeare
Yes,
Nights,
let us
message
know.
There you
Justin
go.
right
We do
here.
a lot of we do Shakespeare
Leave a
nights, and
comment.
we also read original works. Sometimes
Yeah.
we
Some of our
read.
members have their
We
own
read in a
Oh.
grove last
of
time.
the
So
yes. Oh yeah. So
Wow.
there.
Okay.
Parang ano,
Sounds
very Romeo
sounds
Save Me, di ba?
yeah. Well, it's it's interesting because we started this interview talking about kind of like obviously when the pandemic hit, it's kind of like okay, what can we do? And then now it's like every week there's like this, that,
Oh yeah.
and those, right? But
Exactly.
anyway, definitely for anyone interested, just I don't know, show some love in the comments or whatever. But also, we started doing this on Inside the Industry, so we're a weekly show too. We're every Thursday. If you like the show, or if you know anyone who would be a great fit to feature on a future episode, we like to feature exciting emerging new businesses or just excellent, inspiring individuals with a story, especially one of basically how to like take your career into your own hands.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you. Leave that in the comments.
Ooh.
Anyway, we are winding down now into our last few questions. Of course, we have yet to see how Pound the Flesh pans out at the end of October. But for now, we ask this to all of our guests. This is your chance to be like the what do you call them? You predict the future, basically.
The
Very
oracles
What do you
wise
of
oracle.
oracles? Thank you. Oh my
Oracle.
God, that's like Shakespearean too, isn't it? Well, anyway,
Oh yeah.
it probably even goes Greek and all that. But anyway, why don't each of you just share what are your predictions for like the future of theater? Maybe even the far
kailangan
future
with
when
acting. Yung gagano.
yeah, like because you had to do
And the hurly burly
Like,
done.
yeah.
chiaroscuro ka ganun, di ba? So,
No, but in the Kurosawa films, you gotta be like
Oh
really
yeah.
creepy looking ghost. But anyway, yeah, like and especially in the future where this is hybrid storytelling is no longer a necessity. Like you can go out and see a live show. How do you see this all fitting in? Who wants to go first?
I think I'd like to go first. from what I see now, theater has always been such a tough industry. Like it's built of tough people, very very tough people. The training and everything, the discipline, and I think with the pandemic that just rolled in and overcoming it, finding ways to still be able to create, I think the theater industry is just gonna come out stronger than ever. Creating bolder choices, like being braver with a lot of other things, exploring different platforms, of which we've already done. But at this point, I don't think anything can stop us now. Like, I don't think there's anything that can
Nothing's
stop
gonna
the
stop us
theater
now.
industry. Yeah,
Love the
because
song.
like got the song, yeah. But no, but also because like you've taken the stage from us, and we still found a way to be able
Yeah.
to perform, to be
Right.
able to create. So I think
Right.
again, the theater industry is just gonna keep breaking the barriers. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. Artists are pretty cool.
Who
That's it
wants to
for
go
me.
next on that? That was a great start.
Kit?
Thank you.
Okay. Well, actually, I feel like theater is gonna go back to the essence of theater, in a sense that audiences will actually go there and watch live theater again in the near future, hopefully, for the experience and not necessarily for social media or
yeah.
their photos or
Clout.
their videos for clout. So I think
Hashtag clout.
just
I
because
see.
Hashtag
Good point. No, but that's a
just
good point.
because,
Yeah.
right? So parang kasi before the pandemic, there was a lot of like hype for these big production theater companies and their shows. And you being there and you taking photos and videos and whatnot, it was a trend,
Oh yeah.
if I can say that.
Mhm.
So there.
Experience is currency. So.
Yes, so
Yeah.
there. So I feel like after everything, after we can perform live again, especially here in the Philippines, you will go there not because you want the photos or your photo taken with whoever or wherever. You're going to go there and risk, I guess, like in a way you're still risking that infection or that possibility. But you're going to go there because you want the experience. You want to feel and live theater and see theater and just be present at that moment. So I feel like the
Wow.
trend is going to go back to that.
Justin.
Right. Um, I think we will go back to live theater, but I'm saying this from the perspective of an actor because we want an audience. We want that energy back. We want to be there with you. If you're gonna watch us, we will be there. We will perform. One person in the audience, we will stage a show for you.
Oh yeah,
That's how much we
definitely.
love this.
Definitely.
But I'm also really excited to see what or how actors and artists will take this current situation and make art out of it.
Right.
If we look back at history, there's always a new art movement after a great tragedy or
Shakespeare.
great event, like after
Wrote
World
stuff
Wars and
during the plague.
upheavals.
Or the Roaring Twenties is
Yeah,
is the perfect
exactly.
Yeah.
peg for us.
Definitely going to be a new art movement, a blend perhaps of digital,
I'm
strategies
so
and
hyped
tools and
all of a
techniques.
sudden.
And
Augmented
because
reality.
people just want to be
techniques.
together and they want to make art and they want to live,
Yeah.
and that's what theater is. It's about living.
Yes.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we
Wow.
want to be,
Yes.
we want to live and we want to be live. And that's
Oh!
No,
That's where-
soundbite. Pang soundbite.
that's where theater
I
is
think-
gonna be.
Justin, I
Tristan, is
Can you
COC
repeat that now
filing
for
over
sound
yet?
bite?
Justin still has time, I think. Justin still
Tomorrow
has
pa.
time.
Justin.
More sound bites from
Coverage.
I
Justin.
should file. I should file and just have our poster. Like instead of my COC, I
Yeah,
should have
yeah.
our poster. Like,
Okay,
Uy, may
so
kilala akong
for Kit's
ganun.
earlier point, that one naman is for the cloud. No,
For their
to-
business.
to-
Like,
to post
why
on
are you
social
running
media.
for Senate? Because I really need to sell shows.
Love it.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, Justin is in our poster. He's the character poster there.
Yeah,
So
yeah. That's
Quite
kind of
a bit.
weird though. I'll be carrying my face like up on.
Yung nickname mo, di ba you're asked a nickname, pwede mong ilagay Justin and then Pound of
Yeah.
Flesh.
Pound of flesh. Oh, yung ano.
Yeah.
I run.
Just icarustheater.com, I ran.
There you go. There you go. It's done. It's on Rappler. Go Tristan.
We're actually required naman talaga to show where the people filing. So, marketing, di ba? Approve mo na Kit as the marketing
Yes,
director.
approve na yan. You have my signature.
So speaking pala, I just remembered that like a small bit. Speaking of artists during catastrophes, di ba Shakespeare wrote King Lear during the plague? Tama ba
Yeah.
King
Oh, yeah.
Lear?
Yeah.
Diba?
I think it's there. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
can don't nod to be agreeable because we also don't share fake news on Rappler. But worth fact checking.
I think it's one of those productions. One of
During,
those
yeah, but it
systems.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is during Shakespeare's time was really during the plague. His
Yeah,
son,
naturally
daughter,
so.
Hamlet died because of the plague.
Son,
right?
Hamlet. Yeah.
Son, Hamlet. Yeah.
This is the plague. So yeah,
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, unfortunately, our time is winding down here. But before we let you go, any last bits? Let's keep this short and sweet, just in one-liner style. Any last bits of
Ooh.
advice for emerging performers and artists?
Ooh. I guess I'll go first. Oh, there. Okay, it's okay. I'll go first. It's never too late to start something that you want to do, or you want to, or you dream to do. Like I started doing formal vocal training when I was 20, and usually they tell you you have to start at 5 years old, or you have to start at like very early age. But no, you get to start whenever you want to, and it's never too late. You know, if you love it, you have the heart for it, you have the passion for it, just keep going and be brave enough to suck at it at first, but just keep going, and you're gonna have so much fun, and treasure that process. So there, it's never too late. You go perform your heart out, girl.
Yeah, I started acting at
boy.
32.
See?
Wow.
See?
Really?
Nice.
Never too
Okay.
late. Never too late.
Okay.
That's
Well,
it for me.
Justin, I guess that's a good seg for you. What's your
Uh,
piece of advice?
Love pain, don't suck, stay ready. That's my.
Campaign slogan.
Three points.
That's how you
Big
that's how you
point.
succeed at anything. Love
That's
pain,
t-shirt.
That's
don't
true,
suck,
though.
stay ready.
That's
Stay
true.
ready.
Boom.
Dang.
He's got that on his wall, by the way, behind the
dude.
camera.
Yeah,
we
some
don't
people
see
got
it.
live,
That-
love,
that's
laugh.
actually
Got
good.
that.
Yeah, hide this stuff.
Yeah. Kit?
Okay. Okay. So here's one. My former boss, well, my only boss ever, shared a quote with me, which stayed with me which is staying with me. So the quote goes like, every morning when you wake, say, today I take chances in the direction of my dreams. So
Oh,
there. So
Ooh.
oh.
Soundbite.
I
I should
like
put
that.
that up on my wall. You know, like
Yeah. That's kind of
I
like
don't know who said that, pero yeah.
That's beautiful.
Bakit
Well, that's kind of
Shakespeare?
like that's similar to like the falling forward
Right.
Leap
concept.
and then build your wings on the way down. There's also that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
So anyway, great. Tristan, we have too many sound bites to work with. But
So
with that,
favorite Shakespeare soundbite kayo na eh. And my daddy
Ano?
said, "Stay away from Juliet."
okay.
Oh, meron ako.
God.
Favorite
my
Shakespeare soundbite.
Okay.
Will you pleasure me? Will you
I hope your
pleasure
Oh
me?
yeah,
internet
will you pleasure me?
I hope your
It's one
internet
of our
hung during that
Favorite.
time. But anyway, thanks so much, Ikarus Theater Collective. We're not letting you go yet. We're gonna wrap things up as we always do with our play of the week. We talked a lot about work. Now it's time to talk about play. Actually, no, we were talking about a play the whole time, weren't we?
I guess,
But
yeah.
anyway, we're never short of fun here. So any fun activities or recommendations for our listeners to unwind from the busyness of business? Let's go first.
Ooh, that's fun.
I my brain is trash and I live on the internet as a popular webcomic says. But I do watch a lot of YouTube. And one of the shows that I catch only on YouTube because I don't have TV is Forged in Fire, which is a forging blacksmithing show.
I know
Yeah.
that.
And I love it.
Yeah,
I
used to watch
love
that.
it
I
because
saw that.
I love how they portray men. It's such a positive, like the participants are mostly guys, although there are female participants as well. they're very positive about the competition. They're very supportive of each other,
Mm,
and it's such a breather from like the usual reality show competition format where everyone's so cutthroat and mean to each other. This was just
yeah.
really pleasant, so it's a nice show to watch, and I get to
Interesting.
see
Look at that.
Damascus blades being made, so that's also
Oh,
Ooh.
nice.
goody.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. I think I saw that episode.
Kit, what about yours?
I don't know if anyone's a coffee person here, but I would
Ooh.
recommend if you haven't tried home brewing, you have to try it, especially since work can get really fast paced. It's something that you can do slowly, like meditatively, and you just enjoy the moments that you're drizzling or pouring the water, and then just timing everything, and then
Yeah.
afterwards just enjoying it, and taking time away from the screens, taking time away from your phones, etc. So they're home brewing. If you want to start home brewing, you only need your beans, and like just a French press is fine as a start. So
Are
there.
you a French presser or a pour over
I am a pour
person?
over person, but actually, I was a French presser before I
It's a good
became
way to
a
get into
pour
it.
over,
Yeah.
right? So
She's gonna
now my
she's gonna
It's a
favorite
flex her
gateway.
gooseneck
And,
now.
internet. No, I have my coffee nook right here with my coffee nook with my sister. But my favorite right now, if you are homebrewing now, if you haven't tried the Kasuya method, it's a 4-6
Ooh.
method. So there's an app for
Hmm.
that. Just just search 4-6, and then the recipe will be there. So it's easy to use. There.
Hmm. Noted.
I think you're
Secret
a
Coffee
coffee
code.
app is
person,
Starbucks,
Paul.
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
Yum
yeah,
coffee.
yeah.
Great
Well, my
recipe.
last play of the week was a coffee book, The World Atlas of
yeah.
Coffee. So
Sakto for
Oh,
International
fun.
Coffee Day.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Tristan, actually,
Ooh.
Do you want to plug our colleagues' video
Yeah,
released on International
you can
Coffee Day?
check out our check this out video for Coffee Day.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
just
Rappler has a check this
Google
out
Facebook
series.
search
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Fun. That's so fun.
Yeah. Ariel, what about yours?
Oh, so if straight classical plays have Shakespeare, musical theater has Sondheim. I've been listening to a lot of Sondheim
Mm.
musicals, music in general, and I've been studying up on how his process in creating. He's a composer, sorry. So he makes songs. He's the composer of Sweeney Todd, if you've heard of him. Sweeney Todd, the
Mhm.
Demon Barber of Fleet Street, the one with Johnny Depp and
Yes.
Helena Bonham
Yep.
Carter,
Cool
much more twisted
price.
version of Edward Scissorhands, yeah. And Into the Woods, if you've seen Into the Woods with Meryl Streep.
Mm. Yep.
So he creates those music, that amazing,
And the West
amazing
Side
music. And
Story.
oh yes, West Side Story
Right?
is coming
Yeah.
out.
Coming this December.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Boom.
boom. But we do not support Ansel Elgort. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into it. But again,
Oh, okay.
so
I'm
oh
not
yeah.
in the know
Yeah.
about it,
Oh
but go
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. Wait till see. So I love Sondheim because of the way that he creates his music. He's very cerebral. He's very smart about his music, and at the same time, just crazy. Very much like Shakespeare. So if you guys haven't checked out Sweeney Todd or Into the Woods or Passion Follies, West Side Story, there's so much more. Please go check Sondheim out. He's amazing. He's very
Right.
old now, but like, watch it. It's so good. Music.
Timeless.
Yes, thank you.
Old
Tristan?
and hopefully vaccinated. Diba? So
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna
Go.
cancel this guy, Ariel. Anyway, Tristan.
Oh,
So
man.
anyway, me, I've been like on my HBO Go app for like the past days because I've been like I've told Tawi this before, like I'm participating in a Bada binge. So it's a
Ooh.
Bada
rewatch of The
binge, bada
Sopranos.
boom.
So
Bada
yeah,
binge,
but medyo
bada
late na
boom.
ako. Like I should have done. I couldn't keep up with the like 6 seasons in 6 weeks. So like it was supposed to be like it was like supposed to be in preparation of like the Many Saints of Newark. So anyway, nasa season 5 na ako. I just ended season 5. And then I'm also catching, I just caught On the Job too. It's finale last Sunday.
Yeah.
I wanna watch.
So, it's,
Very
Yeah.
exciting.
Me too, me too, me too.
Oh.
so I enjoyed it.
Good
It's
rec.
different, but yeah, I'm gonna reco it naman. I'm gonna write about it. So
Okay,
Yes.
great. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, Tristan. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure we have a few things for our Rappler audience to look forward to on those, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, so
Your
for
turn.
mine, well, I'm currently on a remote workcation. That's not my specific play of the week. My specific play of the week is, and I think this applies to anyone who just wants to, I guess, have a bit more fun in their environment. A few months ago, I got a portable projector, just like a pretty cheap one that does
Nice.
the work on
That's super
Shopee. And
cool.
if you take that with you on a workation, or if you just want to rearrange your room and just
Uh-huh.
like watch shows that
You
way,
can
it
read your
like, oh
emails, diba?
yeah,
Read your
read
emails.
your emails. You know what, use it for everything, use it
Right.
for everything. But anyway, that plus a blanket, and it's like
Girl,
anywhere it turns into a screen. I just happen to be
cuddle
blessed
town.
because I'm currently living in a really cool boutique hotel that resembles a tree house, and I'm just like hanging my blanket on all sorts of
Right.
like places, and it feels like
Like a
I'm a little
fort.
kid again,
Like a
just like having a
fort.
little, yeah, like a fort, and then just playing whatever, Netflix, YouTube, whatever. So yeah,
Zoom calls.
portable
Nice.
Yeah, like-
projector,
Zoom.
So
whatever,
cool.
Shopee, Lazada, whatever you got. Anyway,
Got it.
that's our time, everyone. Thank you so much, Icarus Theater. Again,
Thank you.
where can our audience follow you, and how can they catch the show, and when?
All right. Again, our website is icarustheater.com. The show details are there, so you can get tickets via our website. We are on Facebook. Just look us up as Ikarus Theater Collaborative. And on Instagram, we are at Ikarus Theater.
Nice. And you can also follow your host here. I'm Powie. I'm mostly on Instagram at Powie Fiction. Tristan?
I'm on Gcash, so you can
Oh, smart, smart.
at Tristan
Wow, that one's
Sinamban
globe, but
across all
yes, go on.
platforms. Yeah.
Okay. So, thanks so much, Icarus. That's it. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you very
you.
much.
So much
Fun
for
I want to
having
give
Thank you.
us.
Thanks,
Oh yeah.
everyone.
I want to give many thanks to Rappler's production team, Jaira, shout out
Thank
to
you,
you,
Tyra.
our
Thank
community
you.
team, Ia, creatives
Thank you.
team, and our intern, Yana. This is our last episode. We're shouting her out. Good luck with school, Yana.
Hashtag
Um,
extend
Oh,
Yana.
thank you.
yeah.
Thank you
Thank you out
guys.
there, everyone, for listening. If you haven't already, please follow Rappler on all platforms. You can catch us on Kumu by following Rappler.com, and follow the Hustle Inside the Industry podcast on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. We bring you a new episode every Monday so you can start your week with a little motivation. Bye.
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 Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.